Hello, my name is Faith Skeet, and I will be presenting with Team Charter 6, and we'll be talking about event coordination best practices. Other presenters during this presentation will be Rosa Herrera, Sierra Waldock, and Taylor Putnam. Before getting into our presentation, we want to first give you an overview of what we will be talking about. We'll first start with an introduction on what event coordination is, the job outlook, key responsibilities within the event coordination field, job requirements, diversity practices, inclusion practices, recommendations, and then our final conclusions. To begin, event coordination encompasses the meticulous planning, organization, and execution of various types of events. These various types of events can range from corporate conferences, trade shows, weddings, parties, and cultural gatherings. All these types of events' success does not only rely on the event coordinator's creativity, but also relies on meticulous planning and having a comprehensive understanding of industry trends. In inclusion to industry trends, there's also needs to be an understanding with emerging opportunities and time-tested strategies. As we begin our presentation, we will not only shed light on potential job outlooks, as mentioned beforehand, but also valuable recommendations, requirements, and best practices that will deal with diversity and inclusion. To begin with the job outlook for event coordinators, it can vary depending on the individual's location, industry demand, and economic conditions. Although there are these factors that you must consider, overall, the job outlook has positive opportunities in a range of sectors, as mentioned before, that include corporate events, weddings, nonprofit organizations, hospitality, and entertainment. Some statistics to back this up mainly came from the Bureau of Labor Statistics. And the first one states that the employment of meeting convention for event planners is projected to grow 8% from 2022 to 2032. And then there will be 15,200 openings for meeting, convention, and corporate events that is going to be on average in the next decade. And meeting and convention events have becoming very popular and very well known, especially in the level of expertise that event coordinators tend to study. And then lastly, the Bureau of Labor Statistics states that there's supposed to be an 18% growth in job openings in 2031, which compared to the average for other occupations is 5% faster. Now, looking at the job outlook within the event coordination field, there are some key factors. These key factors include the growth in events, job diversity, its niche markets, and qualifications. Starting with the growth in events, there is an increased demand for event professionals, and this is mainly due to current event coordinators retiring. And then there is an emergence of new event formats and a diversification of event offerings. And this goes to different specializations, also new ways to create events. One of the new types of events that has grown would be destination tourism. Now, going into job diversity, as mentioned before, there is going to be a growth in the range of employment opportunities and a growth in the different specializations individuals can go into. But those types of specializations must match the individual skills and level of expertise. Next, going into niche markets, there are so many different niches that one can pursue, but some of the main ones would include destination weddings, corporate events, corporate meetings, corporate retreats, medical and healthcare events, sustainable events, cultural and ethnic events, luxury events, and lastly would be virtual and hybrid events. Virtual and hybrid events has specifically really emerged after the pandemic, also because of how we now use our technology and how we communicate with each other through technology. Going to qualifications, Other than education, event coordinators or people that are planning to go into the field must have certifications. Some main certifications include certification in professional meetings, certifications in special events, a digital event strategist certification, and then lastly would be wedding planning certifications. Now, if you are planning on deciding to not only just do weddings but also specialized events, you would need both because weddings differ than other types of events such as professional corporate events or specialized events in tourism. It really depends, but you would need both. Aside from having an education background and having certifications in the field, there are also other types of skills that one must have, and that would be high organization skills, communication skills. A new one would be tech proficiency, especially with hybrid and virtual events. Hybrid and virtual events do require the event planner to create an interface that is not only user centric but also really boost engagement since you are not physically in person. And the last one would be problem solving skills.
Hi, my name is Taylor Putnam, and I'm here to talk to you today about the key responsibilities of being an event coordinator. The number one most important event coordinating responsibility is understanding the requirements for each event. Of course, the requirements vary based on the kind of event that is being held, whether it's for a wedding, for a corporate event, or privately held, but these factors can include the number of people, the date, the budget, or if catering is necessary. Planning these events with great attention to detail, as well as the financial and time constraints, is also extremely important. And then, of course, overseeing the event happenings to evaluate success. Event coordinators also book venues, they book entertainment, and this is done after much research and negotiation. They also hire event staff, which could include security, greeters at the door that take tickets or take coats, also can include an audio-visual production crew, just depending on the kind of event. They also engage in ongoing communication with clients to ensure their satisfaction and success all around. Next, I will speak to you about the job requirements. The number one most important thing as an event coordinator is to have proven experience with a good track record. This track record can be formed by a portfolio of events that have been executed or through reviews from past clients. It is also required to be proficient in Microsoft Office, as well as excellent vendor management skills, as you will have to do a lot of research and a lot of negotiation. In addition, there needs to be a knowledge of basic recruitment practices, outstanding communication and negotiation ability. This is for both clients and for vendors. Then you must be a well-organized person with multitasking skills. As with event coordinating, there are many little details and you may have to work under very strict deadlines. So going hand in hand with that, you need to be able to handle stress and remain calm in tough situations. You also need to be able to solve problems. And of course, a degree in hospitality management, public relations, or a relevant field is preferred, but typically not required by most companies. Thank you.
This is Sierra Waldock, and I will be going over the diversity and inclusion practices. So when it comes to diversity practices, you want to create a team of certified and experienced diverse individuals. The more diverse, the more you can learn from each other in order to perform your best in the field. Embracing diversity can help you understand different people's cultures, and then that can help you when you're coordinating a specific culture's event. When it comes to inclusion practices, some inclusion practices would be embracing others' ideas and incorporating them into the plan. Furthermore, learning and using correct language when addressing and interacting with coworkers and clients can create a positive and safe environment. So just being kind and compassionate and considerate. Also, keep in mind when you're choosing venues, make sure they have accessibility for everybody and you can make the accommodations for each attendee. And then lastly, consider dietary restrictions and preferences for each individual event.
So I'm going to be talking about our recommendations to whoever wants to pursue this career as an event coordinator. So some of the recommendations we have to those who are looking to pursue a career as an event coordinator is to try your best to get an internship while you're studying in college. This is something that Haley, the girl we interviewed, for who works in this field, she emphasized this a lot, and she said that this really opens up the doors in so many different ways, and it sets you apart from the rest of the crowd that is applying for the same position. And another thing that we recommend is to start your organizational skills as soon as possible. As an event coordinator, there will be a lot of things that are needed to handle and deadlines you have to meet all at once, and it's important to be on top of it so you don't let your colleagues down, because most likely there will be a team who is depending on you. And another thing that I didn't put but that is really recommended is to develop communication skills. There will be a lot of times where you can't meet in face to face, just like our group right now, and you'll have to reach out and communicate effectively with your team via email, via Zoom. Just find different ways to collaborate and stay in touch and updated with your team. Moving on to conclusion. What we decided as a group is that as long as there would be events, there's going to be a need for coordination. This job market is growing exponentially, and it doesn't seem to be slowing down anytime soon. So the view for anybody who wants to pursue this career is looking quite optimistic. Something to keep in mind is that you as an event coordinator are going to be responsible for tasks, keeping a track of the budget, and keeping everyone and everything on schedule. So like I said, focusing on your skills now is going to help you in your long term, because event coordination is a lot all at once. And then finally, learning excellent communication skills and being able to multitask as well as problem solving benefits this in the long term. As an event coordinator, you will come across a large range of people that you will have to work with or host events for, and it's good to learn those interdisciplinary skills and interpersonal skills now, because you will have to be dealing with a lot of people at once. So also evolving those management skills can help you out in the long run. Finally, this is a career for someone who is ideally a little on the extroverted side, I would say so. But nonetheless, it seems like a very interesting and exciting career that if you like to meet a lot of different people, this is definitely something you should check out. And yeah, thank you guys. These are our works cited pages.